When people think of ancient South America, one name dominates every conversation. Machu Picchu, Cusco. An empire that stretched across the spine of the Andes, but here's the problem. Long before the first Inca emperor was even born, someone was already building structures so precise, so massive, and so advanced, that modern engineers still can't fully explain how they were made, with Stone Age tools, no wheels, and no iron. The Incas didn't start this tradition, they inherited it. Today, we're going back before the empire, to the civilization's history barely remembers, and the megastructures they left behind. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why some archaeologists believe the most advanced ancient engineering in the Americas wasn't Inca at all. It was already ancient by the time the Incas showed up. We're talking about cities older than the Egyptian pyramids, stones cut with a precision that shouldn't be possible without modern machinery, and one site so strange that even its name in the local Aymara language means the door of the god. Let's start at the very beginning, literally, the oldest known city in the Americas, roughly 90 miles north of modern Lima, Peru, hidden in a dry desert valley, sits a city called Caral. Is old. Not old for South America, old genuinely ancient. Radiocarbon dating places construction around 2600 BCE. That makes Caral roughly contemporary with the Great Pyramid of Giza, and it predates the rise of the Inca Empire by over 4,000 years. This was a civilization that built 6 large pyramidal platform mounds, sunken circular plazas, and residential complexes, all without pottery, without a writing system as we understand it, and without any evidence of warfare. No weapons, no mass graves, no defensive walls. Caral's largest pyramid, the Pyramid Mayor, covers an area larger than several football fields and rises over 60 feet high. And here's the detail that still puzzles researchers. The builders used something called shikra bags, mesh bags woven from reeds, filled with stones, and stacked to create earthquake-resistant foundations. In a region devastated by seismic activity for thousands of years, this simple technique is one of the reasons these structures are still standing today. Caral proves one crucial thing. Monumental construction in Peru didn't start with the Inca. It started at least 4 millennia earlier with a society we still know almost nothing about. Fast forward roughly 500 years, and a new site rises in the northern highlands of Peru. Chavín de Huántar, built around 1200 BCE, Chavín wasn't just a temple, it was a labyrinth. Beneath the main structure lies a maze of narrow stone passages, ventilation shafts, and hidden chambers, engineered with an understanding of acoustics that seems almost impossible for the time period. Researchers have found that the internal canal system wasn't just for drainage. During the rainy season, water rushing through the stone channels produced a deep, roaring sound, amplified through the corridors above. Combined with strategically placed light shafts and the famous lanzon, a 15-foot carved stone dagger-like idol at the temple's core. Visitors moving through the dark, echoing tunnels would have experienced something close to a sensory manipulation ritual. This wasn't accidental. This was intentional architectural psychology, built into solid stone, over 3,000 years ago. Now we get to the site that sparks the most controversy of all, Tiwanaku and its neighboring complex, Puma Punku, near Lake Titicaca in modern Bolivia. Tiwanaku flourished between roughly 300 and 1000 CE, still centuries before the Inca Empire existed. By the time the Incas arrived at Tiwanaku, it was already abandoned ruins. The nearest known quarry sources are 10 to 60 miles away, across difficult terrain, with no evidence of wheeled transport. Some blocks weigh over 100 tons. Mainstream archaeologists argue this was achieved through a combination of copper and bronze tooling, wet stone abrasives, and an enormous, highly organized labor force over generations. Fringe theories go much further, suggesting lost technology or outside intervention. We're not here to tell you what to believe, but even the most conservative academic explanation still describes an engineering achievement that took centuries to master and organize. Either way, one fact remains undisputed. This level of stonework existed in South America long before a single Inca road was ever built. Now here's a twist most people don't know. Sacsayhuamán, the massive zigzagging stone fortress overlooking Cusco, is usually credited to the Incas. But growing archaeological evidence suggests the foundational stonework may be older, built or started by pre-Inca cultures the Incas later expanded upon. The lower walls contain some of the most famous stones in the world. Polygonal limestone blocks, some over 200 tons, fitted together so precisely that even today you cannot slide a piece of paper between them. No mortar, no gaps, and critically, a design so seismically resilient that these walls have survived earthquakes that leveled Spanish colonial buildings built centuries later, right next to them. The stones don't just fit. They interlock in 3 dimensions, with concave and convex surfaces custom-shaped for their exact neighboring block. This isn't stacking, this is sculpting on a monumental scale, and it likely represents an evolution of building knowledge passed down from the same pre-Inca traditions we've already covered. So what connects Caral, Chavín, Tiwanaku, Puma Punku, and the foundations of Sacsayhuamán? None of them were built by the Incas. All of them predate the empire by centuries, in Caral's case by thousands of years. And yet, all of them share something in common: monumental scale, extreme precision, and engineering solutions that still challenge our modern understanding of ancient capability. The Inca Empire, for all its brilliance, may have been less the origin of Andean mega-architecture and more its final chapter, the last civilization to inherit, refine, and master a tradition of building that had already been evolving in the Andes for over 4,000 years. So the next time someone says the Incas built the most advanced structures in ancient South America, you'll know the real story goes back much, much further, to builders whose names we may never even know. If you found this as fascinating as we did, hit subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most mysterious ancient civilizations, and let us know in the comments, which of these sites do you think deserves its own full episode? We'll see you in the next one.